I wish that a cartoon like this existed when I was a kid. I'm glad that my kids have this.
All right, here we go. After 13-year-old super genius Lunella accidentally brings a 10-ton Tyrannosaurus Rex Devil Dinosaur to present-day New York City via a time vortex, they work together to protect the city's Lower East Side from danger. That is what Google talks about of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur on Disney+. If you don't know, now you know. For everything we do, we give it a 1-sentence review. Jason, go ahead and hit us with your 1-sentence review.
Oh, man. Starting off.
It's Black History Month.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I am over the moon for this show. The girl's devil is all in the dinosauric details. There we go.
Ooh.
All right. Lisa, why don't you hit us with your 1-sentence review?
Black girl magic and a sick beat. What else do you need?
Facts.
Was the snaps written in your
You'll never know.
Write down snaps.
I
will know. I know the guy who knows the password to your computer. I will know.
He doesn't.
Good. As long as you didn't read snaps, that's good.
Yeah, snaps.
Because I would have read it. Yeah.
My 1-sentence review is: watch Moon Girl with your kids. Watch Moon Girl by yourself. Watch Moon Girl. That's actually like 3 sentences, but I make it the rules. Who cares?
Yes, facts.
I just want to go out and start and say, I fucking love this show. Like from the very first, I was in the opening credits and I was like, I love this shit. Like I didn't need to see any more of the story. I didn't need to go on for the next 6 episodes and watch this beautiful, vivacious little girl, fight weirdos in Lower East Side Manhattan. Because that's also like they're millionaires too. They own a skate rink down there. They ain't poor.
Shit, I know that's right.
They try to pretend like they are.
Yeah, they ain't poor.
We know how that works.
They own a building. They're the 1%.
Yeah. Look, I was with the Sparkles the other week and paid $50 just to get in, so I know they not poor.
Yeah,
and they in New York. That's $100 in New York. Like,
yeah, people coming up there. But man, does this show like? Oh my goodness. It just hits on every single level for me. Like from the hair episode to
classic.
First, let's just throw all that shit out the window. The reason I love this show is because of Mr. Friend of the show, Larry Fishburne. All right.
Larry's a friend of the show. Okay, yeah.
He's a friend of the show.
Larry
Fishburne. We go first name, nickname basis. We don't call him Lawrence. We call him Larry down here because he's our friend. And like when you find out that I guess this is a little spoiler, it's a kid's show, kind of, sort of. So like spoilers-ish, that his performance as the Beyonder, just chef's kiss. It's
classic.
It's they have a pretty stacked voice cast for this show. Like, Alfie Woodard as Mimi, freaking Larry Fishburne, Fred Texier is Devil Dinosaur. He's like a staple of any animated show. So like from the art style to the characterizations, the story is, monster of the week. She has to tackle whatever challenge she's facing and learns a lesson in it, like any other kid's show. But like just the vibrancy alone makes this like something that you put like lock up in the Smithsonian and like bury it for future generations so they can have it like 1,000 years from now. Because it's good. It's good. Go ahead. I'm gonna continue to gush if I continue to keep talking. Anybody can start. Lisa, how about you?
Okay. So, no, yeah, the show was so good. It was very on theme too for like I feel like this week everything was about secrets, people keeping secrets. And this was just completely on theme with it. I love her friend who's like literally, and this is another thing we were talking about that Marvel just does. It is a super tense moment. There's a monster in a skating rink, and her friend is literally just turning up her phone. It's like taking pictures to put on. And she's like, stop. And her friend's like, okay. Like, that shit's so funny. And I feel like realistic because there's a reason why we see so many videos of people fighting and stupid shit like that, because
We
people
watch a lot of
gonna
TikTok.
people gonna be videoing it instead of just getting out of the way. I wish that a cartoon like this existed when I was a kid. I'm glad that my kids have this. And one of the, I watched the hair episode twice because that is
classic.
That is, I think so the hair is something that is good, that kind of transcends, like it is very important in Black culture, but it's also important in girl culture. So even if you're not a little Black girl watching it, you can still relate, because then you know like how important it is, and especially because she's at like a weird age where she doesn't really know who she is, and she and she cares, she wants to be independent, but she still cares about what people think. So the hair episode was just so amazing. I watched it twice, and that was another thing where I was just like, if her mom would have just fucking told her that her hair burned off in the beginning, she would have done it. Like, but I know it needed, plot device. I get it. But
culturally, that's very on point.
Your
parents tell you how to do something, but they don't explain it why.
Oh,
they just
okay.
Don't do it. And then you realize, and then you do it. It's like, I told you not to do it because I could have told you your hair fell off. Well,
I told you what would happen. Yeah, exactly. Like, why didn't she just tell her first? And but no, I definitely remember like an age where I was on my own doing my hair, and it was picture day, and I looked like a hot mess, and everybody made fun of me because I didn't know how to get, like, I had really long hair. I didn't know how to get all the tangles out of my hair, and I just looked like trash. So I, that I got a little teary-eyed in that episode, and that might have been why I watched it twice. So but again, we're talking about a cartoon that's clearly made for children that me as an adult am enjoying. I'm rewinding the songs. So I wrote down one of the lyrics, and in one of the songs she says, "Don't be mad because I'm doing me better than you're doing you." And I'm just like, God, why are you so amazing? So I could gush about it all day long. I was sad when it ended, because I was waiting for the next episode to come up, and then all of a sudden it's showing me a preview for somebody else, and I was like, but
right.
I was wondering, Jason, if you were gonna like it because of the animation. That was like one of the first things. I was like, I wonder if he's gonna ding it because of the animation.
Oh no, like stuff like this is A, it's creative. B, it's not derivative of most anything else. I think it kind of reminds me of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, but like that's the only thing I could relate it to. And C, like it's about Black people, made by Black people for Black people. Like, why am I not like it? Also, I texted you guys this because I'm not a big hip hop fan, but the one thing that I think this show does amazingly well, and it's also really cool that they do it. It's like every major fight scene before when she's about to overcome the villain, is put to a song, and like those songs, and I'm going to use a term that's probably 5 years too old, they slap. They just knock the taste out your mouth.
I downloaded the soundtrack to the show,
and like and the first few songs there are like traditional hip hop songs, but then they go into like funk and R&B, and then like freaking Larry Fishburne does like a 60s kind of like groove song, and it's just like, who would think of that? Like, I remember the days when if you had a song in a cartoon where they featured a song in the cartoon, it was thrown together, it was mess, it was like the least produced part of the show. Like usually if there was like a hip-hop song, it was probably the hip-hop song written by the granny at your church who had only heard hip-hop tangentially because it was on 60 Minutes at one point.
Right.
That's how
I'm the rapper granny, and I'm here to say that she's gonna have a very good. Yeah, I get what you. Yeah.
Or if it's a rock song, it's like the most derivative. Like, oh yeah, rock songs have guitars and drums in them. It's not good music. Is what I'm trying to say. And this one in this show, Man, like we've come a long way. We got a long way to go, but we've come a long way, man. And it was so short.
We had like a little mini kind of serious conversation because of this show about hip hop. And
Yes.
like how many cartoons other than Rick and Morty make us like think existentially, you know?
About our lives. Not me.
Yeah.
I would say the last time that I thought about a cartoon that made me think about my life was probably Arcane, but even then I was like, nah, that's just a really good show.
Yeah.
I'm going to unlock a trauma for you guys, but especially about hair that I've dig down deep. After my grandma died, I decided, to grow my hair out into an afro because I was a teenager and I was trying to assert my own, cultural ties to my hair. And we were sitting on the field in band. We were about to put on a performance for the entire school. And one of my bandmates came up while I was sitting on the field and spat in my afro in front of the entire school. And I did not murder him, but I was going to kill him.
Who was it?
Wow.
I'm not going to name names.
Fuck yes, name names right now.
Name names on the show. I'm not going to publicly shame someone for something they did 25 years ago.
Yes. Have they apologized?
Yeah.
Have you gotten reparations for that? Okay, then.
Yeah, we're not going to name Chad out on the show. We're not going to let Chad
I can tell you about
Circus in.
But let's just say that his name rhymes with our names, Jason, because it is our name. And he knows what he did. And I'm going to see you soon in hell, motherfucker.
What? Like, oh my God, that makes me
so
angry.
that hair episode,
so
affected
angry.
me as well. Because even though I'm not obviously a woman or a girl, hair is still important. And to Black men as well. We always get that tape up. So, that episode was like, damn, I can relate with that. So, So now that you're all sad, Jason, go ahead and talk about the show.
Oh yes, yeah. Now that we've downed everybody, I'll bring everybody back up. As opposed to my last review or how I felt about Ant-Man, I really thoroughly enjoyed the show. It's part of one of the biggest reasons I was like, hey, we should watch this show. This show has so many elements, so I'm just going to kind of break it down spot by spot for me. One, when we talked about the animation for me felt very hip-hop, spray can, very like graffiti-esque. I love that even if you watch when she's in normal life versus when she's Moon Girl, the animation slightly gets a little wilder, gets a little looser, gets a little more flamboyantly vibrant with the world around us. So I thought that was beautiful. One of the things that I remember when we do the book club and I talk about reading books by people of color, but people that look like me, that talk like me, that sound like me, that do phrases like me. This is that show. You can tell this show was written has women of color, but especially some Black women in there, because the verbiage, even the way the animation makes their facial expressions, how they move, it felt like home. It felt like some stuff that I could hear in my house in DC. It felt like when I went to Thanksgiving with my family, the conversations that were going on.
Not your family in Florida.
No, not that's that. That is the point when we talk about diversity and having people of color in these rooms. That is why you are writing a Black family that is close, that is a Black character, a Black superhero, and it felt like it was written by Black people. And it felt like Black people understood this. And going further, I heard the majority of the people on that staff were from New York. So they even had even further feelings about how the city was represented. One, like you said, Black girl magic, having this brilliant Black girl, in which people don't know that Moon Girl is the smartest person in all of the Marvel Universe.
Even smarter than Richard Franklin.
Yes. Move over Reed, move over Doom, move over Tony Stark. If you look at
move over Kang.
Moon Girl's the smallest person in the Marvel Universe. And so to see her come up with these things, but also the fact that she's still a child, she forgot Neutralizer. She's still a child. Like, that's so brilliant to put that into it. And it's funny because we're watching the show, and when it happens, I go, oh, she must not have used on Neutralizer.
Yeah.
And like you should see all the women in my household's heads just turn And I'm like, what? I was raised by black women. What do you like, I don't know about hair? Like, so like that's a good going even further to like the voice acting. I say it's 2 episodes that I think you can say it's more than that, but 2 for me that I say are classics. The hair episode, which the hair was voiced by Jennifer Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
2, the Beyonder episode, and I remember when it was like, the Beyonder was the name of the title of the episode. I go, oh, my daughters go, who's the Beyonder? I said, oh, he's like one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe, but he's usually played as very stoic and very hands off because he tries to judge if things should blah blah blah. And I'm like, if it's a comic called Secret Wars, anyway. I love this rendition of it. When I saw it at first, I didn't go lie, I started hating. I was like, what kind of Superfly, man? And when I just opened his mouth and started going, I was like, yeah, I'm in. Let's see where this goes. It's just a fun show. I think, like you said, I don't think you need to be black to understand it and enjoy it. I think it's just a fun cartoon, and that it looks like us, and it looks like my daughters. The hair looked like my daughters. Like it just for me was one of those experiences. Watching it by myself and then running to my kids and going, "We need to watch this." Was one of the things I'm going to remember, but also like the moments in it, the conversations. It's just a lot. And I remember it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. We had a conversation about ER and Grey's Anatomy and how the woke stuff hitting you over the head.
Yeah.
This gives you the messages, but doesn't even notice they're feeding you the medicine. Like,
yes.
It's like, when your parents would put the medicine in something, and that's what this was like. Because after you finish the episode, you go, oh, wow. I can't believe they got that in there. And I just slipped on past me. So I enjoy it. Here's the funny part: is Marvel going to start doing this now, where it's going to be like the animation is going to start getting better than the movies, like DC? And I'm here for it.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
The messed up part about it is like after watching Moon Girl and after seeing like it made Ant-Man worse for me because I was like, y'all can do this and give us like different and like affecting things in TV. Like, Loki was great. Freaking Hawkeye was great.
Yeah.
Like this is great. And then you just give us like kind of like the lowest common denominator, which is fine. But like y'all spent $200 million to give us like the low hanging fruit. And y'all spent like $10,000 to give us a piece of art. And y'all and y'all going like make it make sense to me. Like that's what I'm
right.
Like, I think it goes back to, I say this all the time, that Marvel, especially since they got acquired by Disney, I feel like they just take advantage of their fans. So they know that people are going to go see Ant-Man, for example. So regardless, they can still bank on their name. They can still bank that they're going to make X amount of money. So they don't have to keep the original script, and they can make it like the ending trash like that you guys think is, and who cares, because people are going to still go see it, because we're at the point now where we have to see everything for something that we really want to see later make sense. Like, and that was something that I was thinking about when I was watching Ant-Man, was like, holy shit, if this was someone who like is new to the MCU, they would be so lost in this movie, because it is at the point now, Marvel, the MCU is at the point now where if you have not seen the 20 whatever movies, you will have no clue what's going on. Like, they do not stand alone any longer.
Yeah, and Jason harped on this, and I want to just bring it up again that it's always like, and this is probably one of the things that I would ding Ant-Man for, is like, they're always trying to set up something, but they don't finish the story that they're telling right now. Right. And I feel like that's it's great that we're part of this big universe and stuff, and you're leading to something bigger. That's awesome. I love that. That's great to me. That's fantastic that these things build it. Cause back when we were kids, just getting a Batman movie where they even mentioned Robin was, in a possibility. Right.
Yes.
But like, if they just concentrate on telling this story right now, like in this show, they didn't, I think she mentioned the Avengers once in the first episode, right? Like they didn't set,
a couple times, but yeah.
I mean, obviously this is a standalone cartoon show, so obviously I don't think they were making this as to be a part of the MCU or whatever. But like they concentrating on telling the story of Moon Girl. They didn't set up, the rest of the young Avengers or whatever or anything else. It was just about Moon Girl, and in all these movies, they could do that stuff. They can tell a story and give us just a hint that something else is going to be down the road, like they did in the first movies, without sacrificing the story. And I feel like at that point, to your point, Lisa, is that, you know, they just assume that we're going to watch it. So they're like, but who cares? Like that, you know, at the end of Ant-Man, none of this makes sense because we'll make it pay off in like 5 movies from now or 10 movies from now.
Which I feel like they've proved that they probably do have a plan, but it is frustrating in the moment. And
as you're looking at each piece, you're like, oh, this piece doesn't fit. But when you see the big, oh, now it fits. I get it. But like, while we're only looking at the small view of things, it's like, y'all can do it better.
Especially because in the beginning of the MCU, they didn't know how long it was going to stick. They didn't know how popular it was going to be. So if another movie never got made, it still was satisfying enough that it was okay. But if it did, you know, much like Supernatural, how they always thought that they were going to get canceled every season, so they made sure every season wrapped up with a nice little bow, and then
Dean dying.
kept Dean dying, Sam dying, Dean.
Someone dies. And this is the end of the show. They're never coming back.
But I think that that's a Marvel thing. And I think that that's why we like the TV shows so much, because, you know, sometimes it gets exhausting having a big, giant, big bad all the time. And you're wondering how they're going to solve it. And it's nice to just have like a monster of the week, a problem that you can solve, and
a lesson you can learn.
And just getting a nice little slice of life of this is how the regular people, you know, live. So
regular rich people that live in Manhattan.
Also, a side note, the music or choices on that was by Raphael Sadiq. So
of course,
all the hip hop and all stuff you like. I mean, it's good job for Disney. Like we talk about the diversity.
I know. I'm honestly surprised Disney put it out. Really?
Yeah, like good job by Disney. Like you did the right thing. You hired executive producer Lawrence Fishburne. You got the right people in the writing room. I'm not on a first name basis with him. So
when he comes on our show and he says, "Oh, you could call me Larry," then we
look, that's what Gina calls him. That's what I'm calling him. All right.
Okay.
I ain't going that far. So you know, executive producer Lawrence Fishburne. You get people of color to write this. You get people of color from New York to write this, and you get the music done by one of the probably greatest musicians in R&B history.
One of the most underrated greatest musicians in R&B history.
Yeah. Like it's no, and I'm trying to get more people to watch this. So hopefully when people watch this review, they're going to want to go watch this, because this is the show that we should be getting behind and pushing and wanting more of this. Yes, because this shows that you can do all black things and it still makes money. So you can get away from that excuse of being like, go bloke, or this is when you put a lot of money into black things, it doesn't sell well. Like, get rid of these stigmas by supporting something like this. So I'm here for it, man. I loved it, and I can't. Hopefully, it gets to season 2, and I'm here for it. And they get more than 6 episodes. It's like 10, and just keep it moving.
Hopefully, they don't ruin it in season. I think it's definitely going to get a season 2, but hopefully, they don't.
Yeah, they're gonna fire the animated studio and give it like some South Korean, you know, hack job where they're like, where they have to work 80 hours a day just to get it out.
It's going to become Teen Titans Go, and we're all going to cry.
Whoa. Don't hate on Teen Titans Go.
Yo. Actually, I used to hate on Teen Titans Go, but like,
I know,
as the series progresses, it gets a lot better. And I'm like, they shouldn't have got rid of Young Justice because of it. But
correct.
It's a fair replacement after a while.
Well, we'll know what's taken over by new animation studio when the hair starts looking different. Then we'll know.
Oh,
when she comes out with that perm and it's straight.
I give Moon Girl straight hair. You know.
Moon Girl got a bob. Wow.
Right.
5 out of 5.
She got a pixie.
Yes, I second that. 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. We can move on to go to something else. We don't have to do the whole spiel because this is our show. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, the 5 out of 5 balls.
Everything. Whatever you're gonna ask, head. So there we go.
All the head. Just like the bunny ranch, nothing but head, guys.
I guess we'll review the cleaner next week.
Oh yes,
Yeah, we're gonna do the cleaner next week. Yeah, we got it.
You know what? If we could ever get Sam Jackson on this show, then we'll review the cleaner. How about that? And he'll come on. And
I'm sure Sam Jackson's like, you want to review my 2007 seminal movie, The Cleaner? Oh yeah,
you never know. Sam Jackson is an amazing human. Maybe someone will pass us on to him. And then
Morehouse Man.
I've seen some of the movies he's made. He coming on our show would not be a downgrade for some of the stuff he's done. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Also, for all of our listeners and viewers and followers, if we reach 5,000 viewers or subscribers on YouTube or on any other one of our platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Tunes, whatever, Jason and I will do hot yogurt with Lisa. I don't want to do that, so please don't make me do that and stop subscribing. No, actually, subscribe so we can do that. Also, if we get to 10,000. We're going to do I'm going to have to agree with Lisa for everything.
Yes, for everything that
everything
I say.
She says.
Even if I say The Greatest Showman is the greatest movie ever made, ever, he got to agree with me. He does. That's the deal.
Hopefully she won't let me do that because
make it happen, y'all.
And then if we do 15,000, this probably changes every week. Every time we say this, we'll do a Taylor Swift only episode.
Yes.
Please don't make me do that. And if we get some number over that, then I will allow you, the viewers, as well as my lovely co-hosts to fuck with my dating profiles on the internet.
Yes, please, guys.
I feel like we should just do that anyway.
I know, right? You should just let us do that.
Daily Bumble update.
More subscribers.
yeah. Daily Bumble update. Just let us know how it's going in these streets.
Yeah.
How many single moms can Jason attract in an hour? 0.